Well, hello friends. How you doing? Welcome back to another video. I know it's only been a week since the last one, but I felt it necessary to fully engage in book 6 because it was a little too easy previously for what I had read to fall out of my head again. So since the rereading that I did and some writing that I did last week, I decided to fully engage and pretty well 8 to 12 hours a day from last week until now, I was writing fairly constantly, which was actually difficult because I'm kind of sick too. I'm actually quite ill, but we'll get over it. But I'm not over it yet. But I did completely engage and sacrifice. Every day, as soon as I finished my work, I'd just go into writing. And we finished book 6. That's the whole point of this, long-winded opening thing. Book 6, draft 1, she's done. Now, book 6 also happens to be the final book of the first 6-book chunk of my 30-book series, and it ends the revenge thematic arc, which will probably, I don't know where this will come up in print, but that arc, rather than revenge, will probably be called Lesser of Two Evils. And when you read it, it'll look like Lesser of Two Evils. But Lesser has a D on it, but it's not actually pronounced. But it'll look like Lesser of Two Evils, which was actually an idea suggested by Mr. Cody Wayne Morris, Cody the writer. So thank you for that, sir. I think in the future books, in the first couple of pages, when you show the series, like all the other, previously on things, they'll be like Lesser of Two Evils, and then whatever I call the second chunk and whatever I call the third chunk. Actually, it reminds me, let me just bring up the graphic of the chunks in case anyone's new here or forgets or, didn't care when you watched it the first time. We'll just look at the chunks. So this is 30 books, right? The first 6 books is the revenge arc. It's not Miles getting revenge. It's someone else getting revenge on Miles. The Void is all about, what's it called? The dark web. It's not really, but whatever. I forget the word. But anyway, it's an equivalent thing. The next 6-book arc is called the Church of the Universal Blaze. And that's sort of a cult-like thing that arrives in the system. And that involves Barbara quite heavily. The Void involves Marjorie. The Revenge arc involves Miles. Then we have Natural Resources, which is the system itself and what it's undergoing, and that'll involve Candace quite heavily. And then Duty is the last arc, 6 books again, and that involves Zach quite heavily. And each book, again, individual murder mystery, you can just pick up one and read it and be perfectly satisfied. But if you want to read for the whole story, you read all 6 books in order. If you want to read for the whole story, you read all 30 books in order, because there's a whole other layer that's going on. I didn't tell anyone this before, but there is a whole other thing going on for the whole of the 30 books. And the whole of the 30 books is actually just the inciting incident for a completely different series. and I haven't decided yet how many books that will be, and it will be pure sci-fi. There won't be any murder mystery in it anymore. It'll be sci-fi adventure, or I guess people call these things epic sci-fi. I don't know, but it'll be sci-fi adventure. That's what the next series will be if I live long enough to create it. But we'll try to get through these 30 books. Okay, end of graphic. Okay, so book 6 was done in the wee hours of this morning. Today is Thursday the 15th. The last few nights I spent in writing streams with mostly Tanya. So thank you, Tanya. She's in the Storytellers Society Discord that CK and Dami run. If you're interested in being part of a Discord with 197, I think we're up to. There's a lot of writers in there. It's pretty awesome. If you're interested in being in there, use the Instagram thing and contact CK Jensen or Dami, whose last name escapes me for the moment. So we finished that up this morning. I never write in chapters, so I only write in scenes. So I had to go through and separate it all out into chapters because that's what people like and they expect. And I also had to identify what was the past and what was the present. I did leave them as past first, present second, because as I was writing it, that made more sense in my head. I don't know that I'll actually interweave them again like I talked about in previous videos. We'll see what the feedback's like. I sent the book off to my alpha reader, whose feedback is always incredible and very appreciated. I sent it off to a paid critique partner, dev editor, and her feedback's always incredible. Love it very much. And I sent it to another critique partner who I love hearing from. It's a completely different perspective. Points out things that other people don't mention. So it's great to have all of these different kinds of feedback, and they're pointing out different things. Now, unlike all the other books, I don't know that I'll send it out to any more people. Book 1 was sent out to about 20 people for feedback. Book 2, about a dozen. Book 3, probably 5. Book 4, I think we got down to about 3. And I think we'll stick with 3 or 4. There's something to be said for not having too much feedback. You have to trust, and trust is earned, that the feedback you're getting is actually helpful and appropriate. And I don't really appreciate cheerleading. I never have. That doesn't tell me anything about what needs to be fixed. Like if someone just says, and I've had this, "Oh my God, I loved it. Send me the next one." I'm like, that is not helpful in any way. Like, what did you like about it? Are you sure that you didn't need this character developed a little bit more? How come everyone else is saying that Candace is like a little bit of a one-trick pony and you're saying that everything's great? So the people that I send these out to now provide very helpful feedback, actionable feedback, and I appreciate it every single time, which is great. So I suggest you work with some beta readers, critique partners, and if you find that the feedback isn't really up to snuff or isn't what you want or what you think you need to take your book to the next level, find other ones and just, keep testing them until you find a group that you're happy with. And then just stick with them. And hopefully, you'll have some manuscripts swapping over time. That'd be awesome. End of video. I don't want these things to be longer than absolutely necessary. There's no song because I can't think of one and I've got food in the oven that I got to go deal with in about half a second. So book 6 is done. Next step, I get to beta read a nonfiction book for someone. That'll be awesome. I'm already Well, I'm only 8 pages into it, but I'm already into it. And it's really great so far, and we'll keep going with that. And after I'm done that, we'll be in Evelyn Black's Hunger Games thing, the name of which I don't actually recall, but it's Hunger Games themed. I didn't read them. I didn't watch them. Sorry. That was a little bit after my youth. We'll get into that, and we'll write book 0, which is the one that I'm going to do the audiobook for, and maybe even a PDF. I don't know. We'll see what's what. And that occurs, this will be interesting, or whatever, confusing maybe. It happens after the middle point of book 6, which is where the past transitions to the present. It happens after the past point of book 6, but before the beginning of book 1. It's Miles going from Galileo's system to Paradise System. Let's call it a lateral promotion. But it wasn't that at all. Book 0 will be him on a cruise ship, and a murder mystery happens, of course, even though he's off work for a little bit. But there'll be a murder that he has to help, the house detective or whatever solve. He won't have any of his other crew or investigators with him. It's just him, and it's a chance to get, a little more intimate with Miles, like get to know him a little bit better and how he thinks when he's completely on his own. So that's what book 0 will be. We'll be writing that after we're done our beta reading. Okay, so I'll see you in a few weeks. I don't know what else to say. Have an awesome night, weekend, whatever, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.